South Africa is hosting the 2024 South Africa-China Jobs Fair underway at the Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand. Over 60 Chinese invested companies operating in South Africa are participating at the job fair. The job fair is positioned to address challenges of unemployment and address the country's economic recovery, growth and development. For more, we cross to SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi. Katlego, thank you so much for your time. So take us through what happened over the past few hours at this jobs fair.
A very good afternoon to you, Nastasia, and to our viewers at home. Well, we see those Chinese companies here in South Africa are just gathering at the Gallagher Convention Centre today. They're meeting with government to try by all means to take stock of China's investments in South Africa. Here we're talking about 70 of those companies that have invested in South Africa. And today we are seeing them bringing themselves closer to government, bring themselves closer to even those people that are on the ground, young ones that have come out in their numbers here, looking for opportunities from Chinese companies that have invested into South Africa to ensure that at least there are those opportunities that are coming through. So here we see a jobs fair that is taking place annually, and this is where we see those young people that are coming through from 9 of these provinces scattered around Hall 2 of Gallagher Convention Centre to just bring themselves closer. They are walking through from stall to stall this afternoon, Nastasia, to try by all means to just more or less introduce themselves to these opportunities. Today we are hearing that also what will be happening here will be a signing. They're not only going to be talking to these role players here being the investors, but they're also going to be seeing commitments coming through from these investors to ensure that at least these young people are roped into the companies and we see them reskilled, upskilled so that they're able to thrive within this economy. I'm going to bring into the conversation with us this afternoon the minister in the presidency, this being Minister Maropene Lydia. We saw you just moving around. You're interacting with young people. Also important seeing you interacting also with the Chinese companies that are here to invest on just ensuring that they keep to the end of the bargain in creating those well-needed jobs here on the ground. Good afternoon, Minister. Welcome to the SABC. How important is it, Minister, that we see just these opportunities coming closer to those that have been looking for jobs for quite some time?
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, we are really excited as the government of South Africa, precisely because we have been engaging with the embassy of China and the Chinese businesses as well, both from the head of state level and to the level of officials, to say that what can we do to actually make sure that the investment pledges that have been made during the investment summit that the president held actually are actualized. So in 2022, the Chinese government said to us, we can be able to actually have a job fair where we can then now bring people to come and sign contracts. It's not only that we're saying fill in a form and come to us. We will be having 1,000 contracts that people will be living with here today to go and start their work. And we were excited about that precisely because this is now showing that our efforts of making sure that we invest in a relationship on a global level is actually having a good impact in terms of dealing with our own unemployment rate. It is something that is really giving us a headache, unemployment, but we are doing our part to create an enabling environment for businesses to come and invest, both foreign businesses and local businesses to come and invest in this project that we have of making sure that by 2030 unemployment rate would be so low that we won't even know or realize that indeed there was unemployment in South Africa.
And we know very well, Minister, that over time there have been concerns around issues of the flouting of labor regulations here in South Africa where these Chinese companies are concerned. We know very well that there have been issues of cheap labor. There have been issues around some of the products that are coming into South Africa as well that are not intact and are not adhering to the country's laws. How do we ensure that, these people that are here, these commitments that are coming through from these companies and these investors, they meet the labor, threshold of the country in ensuring that there's no exploitation of these young people that are looking for opportunities here?
The ruling party, which is the ANC, of course, one of the things that we fought for as a movement was to make sure that our labor laws in South Africa must actually be adhered to, and they should then now be able to be an advantage to everyone, irrespective of their gender or their race. Therefore, it becomes important that today, 30 years down the line of living in this democracy under the ANC government, that we still continue to make sure that that which we have ushered in this democracy is protected. We are continuously, of course, having meetings with different companies. We are continuously having meetings also with the embassy as well, to say that there are issues that are being raised from time to time. How do we deal with them? Precisely because we are an accessible government that is here for its own people. So we have had those issues, and we did speak and assess the issues that have been raised by the labor that have been actually employed in different companies, and we are making sure that those issues are being resolved in such a way that the labor laws in South Africa will be respected, but at the same time the laws that are governing and the cultures that are governing different companies would also allow them to make profit, but within the prescript of the laws of South Africa. Because once you don't stick to South African laws, it means that you are breaking the law. Then what kind of investment is that? So we are continuously assessing the situation. We are continuously making sure that we do engage, as I already said, with the organization that is actually housing all these companies through our own means, through the embassy, but also with the embassy of South Africa in China as well.
And just before we let you go, quickly, Minister, maybe just let us in on some of those issues that you've been getting from the companies that are investing in South Africa. We know very well that the economy has not been conducive. The environment, issues of energy, logistics and the likes would see some of these companies shy in terms of investing in the country. What are we doing to more or less address those issues? Are these some of the concerns that you're picking up as you engage with them here on the ground?
Well, one of the things that really surprises us, but it's a good surprise, is that we are actually attracting more people to come and invest in South Africa precisely because of our laws, the very laws you were talking about, and the fact that we are a constitutional democracy. Our judiciary system is also respected, and many companies see us not only as a market, but they see us as a gateway to Africa. That is why they would choose to come here, because they then now have a market access to the entire Africa. But what most of these companies have been raising here would be the red tape and the time that it takes for them to get their own licenses, but also the issue of the visa regime. So we are working on that. We are addressing that so that some of these regimes that we have that are put in place could then now be able to cover the visa regime that would speak to the issues of business visa and separate from the tourist visa and the normal visas. So we are putting that in place so that we can address some of these challenges that have been raised here today.